have like section, now they will say parts. That's not a big issue, clear? That's not something. Part 1 of the listening test has some standard features, clear? It has got some standard features, and what are they? Part 1 of the IELTS listening test is quite unique in the sense that it has some standard features. Knowledge of these features can help you in achieving full marks in this part. And what are that unique standard we're going to talk about? Number one thing, clear, that in part 1 you will have, like, you may expect 4 different type of questions. How many type of questions you can expect? 4 different type of questions can come to you. Number one, it's called form completion. Clear? There can be a type of question, we call them form completion. The second one, notes completion, table completion, and multiple choice question as well. But these type of questions, clear, they are very rare. Multiple choice questions are very rare, but the above 3 different type of questions, clear, they are very common in part 1. Now, part 1 will be clear, it will be divided into 2 halves. How many halves? 2 halves. Like, you will have how many questions? 10 questions. Before the test it gets started, examiner will let you know that now you have some time to read from question 1 to 5. What they will say? To read from question 1 till question 5. They will give you some time. And if you remember yesterday, I told you one thing, that what you are supposed to do, that examiner will give you some time in a sense, before the test gets started, speaker will talk. They will provide you general type of information. Like, for example, the test cleared, the recording will be played once, you will have 4 sections, each section contains 10 questions. At the end, clear, you will be given 10 minutes extra time to, so they will keep giving you this information, and I have already provided to you, you don't need to listen to them. That time, clear, you are supposed, like, that will be almost 30 seconds. You will spend on reading the questions, predicting the questions. बजाय ये कि आप लोग उस बंदे को सुनने, ठीक है, क्योंकि आप already you know that information. तो आप लोगों ने क्या काम करने? Prediction पे ज़्यादा time दे रहे हैं. Majority of students, what do? वो लकीर के फकीर बंदे क्या काम करते हैं? Like, they listen. Whatever they say, he starts following that. How can you get, like, how can you take a lead from that in the test then? आपने क्या काम करने? कि ये बोलता रहे, आपने उसे listen करने. Once they are done, they will say, now move to part 1. The speaker will say, now move to part 1. फिर आप वहाँ पे आ जाए. And they will say, now you have some time to read from question 1 to question 5. So again, they will give you almost how much time? 30-second time. So, as I told you, it will be divided into 2 halves. So we have improved our time here. From 30 seconds into how much? 1 minute time. And I'm sure 1 minute time is more than enough for you to understand 5 questions. Clear? To predict 5 questions. It's very tough. But utilizing the 1 minute time for you, that's very crucial for all of you. Clear? To utilize properly. One thing. Then once it is done, then they will give you again that now you have some time to recheck your answers. For rechecking, clear? 1 to 5, again they will give you 30-second time. I don't suggest you to recheck your answers. What you will do now in this case, you will start reading from question 6 to 10. Clear? That 30 seconds he provides you for rechecking, you will start consuming the time where? On prediction, on predicting the coming questions. Clear? So 30 seconds is that, and 30 seconds again they will provide you. Now you have some time to read from question 6 to 10. Again, we have converted our 1 minute into how much time? 30 seconds time. So our part 1, clear, it will be of how many? Clear? We will have like 2 halves. The number of questions, it can be like, it's more probably you will have like 5 in each of the half. But there are more chances of, like, you will have 7 questions in the first half and 3 questions in final, the last half, the second half. You understand? Minimum they can give you 4. Maximum in the first, 5 in the first half, and maximum they can give you 7. Clear? 7 in the first half and 3 in the second half. But this is not a big issue. Clear? Next. In second half, we'll have the remaining questions. There will be a small break after first half to give you time to look at the remaining questions. But I told you about the extra time, how you can improve your timings. Now, in part 1, you will have 2 speakers. How many speakers will be there? Part 1, you will have 2 speakers. And they will talk about any of the social context. Like the conversation they will have among each other, it will be based on what? It will be based on social. And the conversation, it will be on telephone. It will be a telephonic conversation. Clear? It's quite easy. That's not difficult. Suppose you call to any of the administration office. Suppose you call to Excellence Academy's office, and you want to get information about IELTS. So the person will provide you all the information. You call to any of the restaurants, a hotel, a sports club, clear? To get information what time the class gets started, what's the fee, clear? He will ask about your name, about your address, he may ask about your email, clear? About your contact number, about the fee you can ask. So that type of information is quite easy. We're going to come up here. So in part 1 of the listening test, you will hear a conversation between two people set in everyday social context, clear? Like travel arrangements, insurance claim, hiring student, accommodation, telephone call for a job interview, such type of thing will happen there. Now, here, when we give our answers, it will based on what? It will only based on factual information. Our answers will be based on what? Factual information. Means that you cannot give your answer from your own self. Your answer will be based on what? On the audio. On the listening that has been played to you. It will be based on that. Clear? Part 1 is the easiest part of the test. In this part, only fundamental skills of the language are tested, like recognition of the alphabet and your ability, clear, to write names and numbers. This is what they will have. This is why in this part, you will be asked to write factual information like names. If you did mistake in the spellings for the names, that would be considered as wrong. They will ask about address, they will ask about numbers, like telephone number, okay? If you make a mistake in the telephone number, again, you will get 0. Because their pronunciation and your pronunciation, clear, you need to get familiarize yourself. Because that day, one of the tests, clear, when I observed the student, the speaker, he said, it will cost you 1.80 cash, 1.80 cash. And all the students, all the candidates, they wrote 1. But in fact, what the speaker said, he said 1.80 cash, 1.80 cash. So 1.80 cash means what? 1.80. And everybody misunderstood that. Because the numbers that's 80, say 20. You need to get familiarized with these type of numbers. So, do you clear? We want to have some of the examples now down. This is how like part 1 it will look like. Can you see it's a complete the form below. This is a form. They will ask about the form. To go for the form, to fill it out. This is an example, clear? This notes. Complete the notes below. You will have job, clear, inquiry, and you will fill it out. Car insurance, you will fill it out. Health centers, you will fill out this one, clear? Now, we want to come up with some of the useful tips, clear, to study about in this part. Listen, clear, to the introduction very carefully. Before the section actually begins, you will hear a brief introduction, clear, of the section. This introduction will inform you about the occasion and introduce you both of its speakers. Before, like, the speaker, they get started, you will be introduced, like, who is this gentleman and who is that one. Like, for example, one would be the administrator at Excel, and the person, like, who has called, clear, he will be a candidate, clear, a student. So listen to an introduction carefully, as this information is not printed, clear, on the question paper. This should give you, clear, an idea of what will follow in the coming section, clear? Now, the title is very important. We always miss, clear, the title. Look, title, why is it important? If it's about job interview, and you did not read the job interview title, what will happen? You don't know what the speaker will be talking about. For example, I have come up here, and you don't know what the teacher is talking about. Why not? If you fully understand about English, it will be difficult for you to understand me, to catch me properly. Your aim is what? To answer, to get, answer from that. So you will read, clear, the title is an important piece of information. Part 1 will have a title, which is the topic of the entire conversation. Normally, it's printed on the question paper, and you will also hear it in the introduction of the section. The title gives important information about the whole task. It tells you about the contents of the entire section. Always underline it for your attention. You will underline that what the title is about there. Remember, even if there are 2 tasks in part 1, the topic will remain the same. Like if they give you 2 tasks, okay? So the topic will remain the same. They will not shift to any other